I think this episode is trying to tell us the dangers of picking one of these girls as a waifu. Hello everybody, my name is MeisterBloo, and today I took a look at episode 3 of Monster Musume titled Everyday Life Under Dangerous Circumstances. And this episode started off really weird. It started off with, like, all three of the girls in the house attacking Kimihito, and, first, you don't know. I knew because I read the manga, but if you haven't read the manga or anything or are checking this episode out, you might be a little confused as okay, did I miss something? Even I, it's been a while since I've been reading the manga, but even I had to, go back to the previous episode and be like, did I miss something at the very end of that? But no, you didn't. It's one of those episodes that shows a scene, and then after the opening credits, it shows it oh, on the previous day, which leads into that scene. So don't worry, none of you missed a thing. So right after the credits, Mia is at this dry erase board in the house explaining the pecking order, but she started off well. She started off talking about the actual bill, the interspecies relations bill and whatnot, and how it's okay, well, here are the rules of the house, because, as you know, it is illegal for us to harm a human, so we have to take extra care about that. Also, it says in this bill that the first one of us who lived in this house is the most important and the most valuable, and you ought to do what I say. It's really great, it's really funny, because the main part that I found funny about that is that Poppy has got the most, determined look on her face throughout this entire scene. She looks like me in a class that I like. If I'm in a class that I like, I pay, full attention. So she's just yeah, alright, okay, yeah. And just completely falling for it. Meanwhile, Syria is very much not falling for it, and instead arguing it, and basically saying that I am in the servitude of my master, and I am the best one of us because I will take care of him, and while I am here, no harm will come to him. And of course, he walks into the room, and there is a hoof print on his face, which sends Mia into the scariest rage I've seen her have this entire series. You get a super in-depth look at her eye when it's all slitted and everything. It's very scary. While those two are fighting, Poppy, after kind of overheating because she's reading the bill and it's too many big words and whatnot, so her brain kind of goes. But after that, Poppy escapes to the bathroom with him, I gotta take a bath and all that. And it's at the beginning, it's an awkward scene of him trying to get her into a school swimsuit that Sumi-san brought over. But after that, it gets kind of cute. There's this moment where Poppy's just kind of lying on him, and I'm like, oh, that's adorable. And she talks about how there's no male harpies, so she doesn't know what it's like to have a brother, and she feels like he is a brother to her. But then she goes crazy with it. She starts doing these stereotypical sisterly brotherly things that you would typically see in an 18+ visual novel that he is very quick to call her out on and say, this is not what brothers and sisters do, this is not that, no, this isn't Game of Thrones. And Syria comes and kicks down the door, shoots arrows into Poppy, not into her skin or anything, but into her swimsuit, and she's pinned to the wall. Ken's Master, get on my back! And then bolts out of the room and out to the park or whatnot. And I thought that was funny because Syria is typically the I don't want to say she's the more serious of the characters or whatnot. She holds her esteem very high up, and so to see her just spontaneously Master, onto my back, and then just bolt outside was really fun. While out there, they talk and all that, and she explains how she is loyal to her master because that's just how it is in Centaur culture, and he basically says, well, yeah, but we're in Japan. You can calm down and just relax a little bit if you would like. Is there anything you want? And she asks him to hold her hand, and he does, and she's super blushy, and she's got the happiest smile I've ever seen on her. Really touching moment. I really liked that. And then the coolest part of this episode happens. The coolest part happens because Mia drops out of the sky because apparently she got Poppy to carry her through the air to go find them, and then she was like, okay, it's here, and then Poppy's like, okay, and just dropped her. Of course. But then they get into this, showdown with each other, and they look demonic. The art style does a full 180 and goes, really cool and creepy, and, heavy metal music is playing in the background, and it's just so cool. conveniently, Smith-san comes over and shoots darts at them, tranquilizer darts, and accidentally hits all 3 of them into Kimihito. After getting him back home and he's getting a little better and all that, the 3 girls, they come out and they're just, this happened because we were going crazy, so don't worry about this. We're gonna start toning down and like pretty much subduing our desires and intents and everything. And he basically is like, look, this is part of the thing. We're trying to like get our 2 species to be okay with each other, so just be yourselves. You don't have to tone yourself down around me, because yeah, it leads to some pain and everything, but we gotta learn from this. And of course, Smith-san then says, oh, I forgot to mention, there is there's been a change, an alteration to the bill that we now have, that we follow for the law, and apparently now you can marry. And that leads into the opening part where they're all attacking him, because one by one, all 3 of these girls are sneaking into his room. Well, I say sneaking. One of them didn't really sneak, she kind of quietly came in, and that was Mia, and she's like, are you okay? Because you came up here right after she said that and didn't tell us anything, so are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm not against the like marriage idea, it's just she sprung it on me. So she's like, oh, you're not okay? And she goes and just tackles him and everything. Poppy comes flying through the window, crashing onto him, and then Syria kicks down the door, and suddenly he's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. He rushes downstairs and gets a call from Smith-san, and she's like, oh yeah, it's also a full moon tonight, so their instincts are fully kicked in, if you catch my drift. This episode was a fun one. This was a really fun one. They finally calm down, they wake up, and he's basically covered in bandages. And he delivers what is my favorite good morning I've ever heard in an anime, because they all wake up and they're like, huh? Oh, good morning. And he's got all these bandages, and he just goes, Ohio. Like, he has had enough. He's had so much, but he's trying to contain all of his frustration and rage. And he sets up the next episode by saying that he is going to start taking them on dates, because if he's going to marry one of them, he wants to know what it'd be like to go out with them and everything, so because he's never had a girlfriend and whatnot, so he's going to start taking them on dates, to which they're all very happy. But then he also says, you guys are all going to have to start going to bed early on full moons, though. That's something that's got to start happening. So yes, episode 3, still very fun moments. The animation's still very good. I caught some really cool music tracks in here as well, so I'm keeping on going with this. I'm going on to episode 4, can't wait. Until then, everybody, peace out.